This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Last Hit program. We are going to be proving to you once again that it's possible for you to overcome any kind of addiction. Whatever is happening in your life or in your family is reversible. It's completely changeable. But of course, you have to do the right treatment. If you are sick, for example, and you go to the doctor, you are going to have a direction coming from the doctor, and you obey what the doctor says, you take the medication that the doctor prescribes, and you are going to see the results according to what the doctor said. The treatment is exactly the same. When you do what you are told, when you believe and you do what you are told, you are eventually going to see the transformation of your life. Because here, we are not going to give you medicine or you are not going to be hospitalized. There will be no pain, free of charge. You are going to be delivered from the root of addiction. Actually, addiction has been devastating and destroying families all over Australia, all over the world, destroying relationships, destroying families. And so many people lately have been wondering how can an addiction destroy? Why the addiction is destroying their lives? Why the family member who became an addict is no longer listening or keeping his word or keeping his promises? A mother was inquiring this recently. She gave the best of her to her children, and suddenly she sees her children depending on substances and she doesn't know what to do. She has spent so much money already in treatments. She has been trying so many things and nothing is working. Though they promise they are going to stop, they don't. Well, throughout this program, you are going to learn, if you are in this situation, how you are going to overcome this problem, because there is a way for you to eliminate addiction from your life and from your family. I want you to watch now a video about addiction that will help you to identify the signs that an addiction is affecting you and your family. And after this video, we are going to have our special guest, the specialist who has been helping people all over the globe. He is going to be giving you advices to you. So stay tuned so you can benefit from the advices that you are going to receive.
Addictions, drugs, sex, porn, alcohol, gambling, pills, and any substance that dominates and controls one's life can be used by evil spirits to make any human being a slave. Those who are addicted are always conflicted with guilt and with the desire to quit. But those negative forces that convince them that they are not strong enough to resist or fight back always pull them back down. The person always ends up hating themselves for what they do or what they have done. But none of these remorseful feelings are enough to cause him or her to quit. They may even stop for a while, but at the first sign of trouble, the person sees the addiction as the only way to vent their frustration and a way to deal with their problems. This vicious cycle is nothing but the work of evil spirits. They push the person into problems and offer a quick and easy way of forgetting their problems. But when the effect wears off, they are worse off than before. It is evident that addictions are a sign of the presence of negative spiritual forces.
You who have been suffering because of an addiction, pay very close attention to what you are going to learn here today, because it can change your life. I challenge any of you to do what we are going to tell you to do, and your life remains the same. It's impossible. It's a method that I can guarantee works. I guarantee you, no one, no doctor, no clinic, no specialist can guarantee you that what they do is going to work. I can look in your eyes, I can go on TV, I can come in public, and I can guarantee you that the treatment we offer is free of charge and it works. It's impossible for you to come here and you leave this place in the same way. And you will learn here today how you are going to be able to be free from this problem. speaking to the specialist. Good evening, specialist Alexander.
Good evening, Pastor Miguel and all the viewers.
Many are those who are wondering the reason why, when they have an addiction problem in their family, they struggle to understand why that addiction speaks louder than the mother or the father or the husband or wife, why that addiction speaks so louder than the voice of people whom they love. Someone was asking this question to us this week. Why? We love each other. There is love, but when the addiction is involved, there is no respect. It's like the addiction is on top of that feeling. And I understand what I comprehend a little bit, it would be because when there is an addiction, the addiction does not respect feelings. It doesn't matter if it's mother, father, wife, husband, children. The person who is a victim of the spirit of addiction doesn't respect the feelings. Not because they don't love, it's because the spirit of addiction possesses the person. How did you start taking drugs? Before become an addiction, there was a starting point. How was the beginning for you, specialist?
Exactly, and it's so deep what you're saying because we don't think of our family members. As you said, people, they ask questions. Why? And you see that parents, they take good care of their children, and they have this kind of questions in their minds. How come? How could he do this or that? It's because it regards no one. I remember when I started doing drugs, and I was very young when I started, like, as I said in the other program, not abusing, but being abused by drugs. It came in my mind, what about your mom? What about your family members? What about your sister? What about your reputation? What about those who love you? And on the other hand, the voice told me, who cares? Because in that moment, it wasn't myself any longer. In that moment, it was myself, however, possessed by the spirit of addiction. And when the spirit of addiction is in control of someone's life, the feelings, they will never exist, Pastor Miguel. The consideration, the only thing that the addicted person will think about is the craving, the desires, and they won't measure efforts in doing that, regardless of whoever people, if they will like or not. They don't. I never, as for myself, I never thought of someone. I never thought of anyone. I never cared about anybody. And I started, and I became much worse. And there are questions that you can ask me, such as, you never thought of your family members? I'm answering. You never thought of being like sick, or becoming sick, or being arrested? You don't think of nothing, because you are under the influence, not of drugs, but you are under the influence of the spirit of addiction.
And this is so important because listening to what the specialist is saying, his own story, you may wonder, if that person who is under the drug has no power over the feelings anymore because the addiction controls the feeling, as the specialist was saying, what about the fear of being arrested? What about the fear of getting sick and dying or having an overdose? What about the fear of losing the family? Though there was love, when the addiction would take over, the spirit would come, as he said. The desire of that addiction was greater than the feelings for another person. Now think with me, you who are watching me, I want you to think. If we are saying this to someone who is an addict, most probably he is behaving in the same way the specialist said, I don't care. But what about you, mother? Because your feelings are not getting overpowered by the addiction. What about you, wife? What about you, husband? Because everything that that person who has an addiction is not feeling because of the addiction, you are feeling. You are feeling every day when your son comes back home and he is high on drugs. You are feeling every day when your husband is becoming abusive. When the person is a victim of an addiction, the chances to have abuse in the family increases. The chances to have physical abuse, sexual abuse, the chances, because the feelings are no longer there, only the desire for the drug, the chances for arguments, fights, tragedies increase. Because the drug addict, he doesn't think anything else apart from taking the drug. But what about you, mother? What are you going to wait for? Are you going to wait for your son to do something worse? Are you going to wait for your husband to do something worse? Are you going to be crying around the corners and suffering for you and for that person? Or you are going to act about it and put an end on the problem that you are facing? I believe, specialists, that in your case, something like this happened because though your feeling towards your partner, your family, were no longer let's say, been shown. The feelings were not there, but there were feelings from them to you. And it wasn't easy for them. You were in a relationship on those days. How it affected the relationship and how your partner was fighting to change this around.
It's really true what you're saying, because I would make them promises like, I'm not going to do it again. But as I told you, not caring about them at all, but they never stop caring about me. There are people that they say, he doesn't care about me, so I will not care about them as well. And they think, then he will feel hurted, and then he will start thinking about me. This is a lie. This is a complete lie that the spirit of addiction also uses for people to give up on their beloved ones. Those who loved me, those who really wanted to see myself becoming someone in life, they never gave up on me. Even though I never cared about them, they never stopped caring about me. They came to the treatment, the same treatment that you have there in Australia. They obeyed the discipline of the treatment. I was paying attention to what you say in the opening of the program. Every treatment, everything in life, there will be a discipline, there will be a direction that you have to take. If people who are watching us from Australia, you mother, you father, you brother, sister, whoever you are, listen, if you say they don't care about your beloved ones, because as I changed, they will change as well. It may take time, but it will happen. Don't lose hope, don't lose your faith, don't give up on your beloved ones. Because you will see, once you come to this treatment, and with the help of the specialists over there in Australia, the spirit of addiction will be uprooted, and you get back your family in your hands.
Just a question, specialist. I'm sorry, you were talking about your family. Have you ever seen today your wife, your partner on those days? Have you ever seen them crying because of the situation that was happening with you?
Many times, Pastor Miguel. Many times I would see them crying badly. Sometimes they would come like begging, please stop it. Can't you see you're doing you no good? And I would really pretend, I would really look into their eyes and say, I'm very sorry, I won't do that. I'm sure that those who are watching us right now, they are familiar with what I'm saying. I'll look to them and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I promise you I won't do that again. I'm stupid, I'm doing because I'm a weak person, I'm doing because of the influence of one, two, and just to let them go, just to get rid of them. Because their tears, or the tears of those who are suffering with this problem, will never help. What will help is the treatment that is available in Australia, right? Free of cost, no hospitalization, and we are here to prove it. And those who want to see for themselves, let them come. They will see with their very eyes.
That is the very point. Very important. You see, you don't have a power over your family member. They can promise you many things, but you don't have a power over them. But you have a power over yourself. You can take yourself to this place and you can start the treatment. This is not a normal treatment that you need to take your family member to a hospital and leave him there for a few days having treatment. No. In this treatment, even if your family member doesn't want to come at first, you can start on behalf of your family member. So you don't have a power over what they are going to do, but you have a power over what you are going to do. And you right now have the power to say, enough is enough. I don't want to go to the funeral of my family member. I don't want to sign a paper of divorce. I don't want to lose my marriage to an addiction. I don't want to go and bury my children. No, I don't want. I want the transformation of my life. So if you really want to see your family free from any form of addiction, here is the solution for you. It's free of charge. All that you need to do is to make your effort of leaving your house, coming to the help center, being part of the treatment, learning what you are going to do when you leave this place, putting action. And it's impossible that it is not going to happen. Impossible. We have here a living testimony, an example that it is possible for you to overcome. I'm really not sure, because here in Australia there are so many treatments, so many things that are offered to people. You know, I don't know how many things you have tried. Honestly, I don't know if you are disappointed because you've done everything. You assume you've done everything. You didn't. There is always something else to be done. And if you are coming across this video on Facebook or on television, it is God showing you what you can do to put a full stop in this problem and what you have to lose. What do you have to lose? Especially if they have nothing to lose, they want to pay. If they come and they don't like, don't come anymore. As simple as that.
Absolutely nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose at all.
But I mean, zero to lose. They have tried everything to no avail. We are proving to them. We are not only telling them, and we have a cloud of people who have been helped after coming to this treatment. And one may ask you there, Pastor Miguel, but what was he addicted to? Well, let us see if it could help them. I was addicted to ecstasy. I was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to alcohol, gambling, pornography. I was addicted to cocaine. I was addicted to all these substances. I was addicted to all these things. How come I broke free and they will not break free? How come today I have become a decent man and their family members will not become as well? So people, they have been giving excuses. People, they have been saying sometimes it is too far. Listen, I heard you saying, Pastor Miguel, if the worst takes place, they go from far, they come from far, they come from everywhere to bury. If people, they are going from far to bury, why not going from far to the treatment in Australia, there where you are, for rescuing their family members from the hands of the spirit of addiction? I don't mean to be quoting Bible verses, but it came in my mind right now. They say, I've tried everything to no avail. The things which are not possible with men, they are possible with God. That's why we can assure you there is a way out for you to overcome addictions.
And you are called for this challenge. I'm not here with a specialist just inviting you. I'm calling you. I'm calling you for you to solve the problem. When you come into this place, even if you are watching us from Queensland, you are watching us from the North Territory, if you are watching us from Victoria, from the West, anywhere in Australia, from Tasmania, anywhere, it doesn't matter how far you have to travel. Recently we had a lady who left Perth. She left Perth, the furthest place possible. She flew 5 hours, attended the session, and already flew back. And she's seeing results in her lives. You know, when you really want something, you don't care how hard it will be. You will do whatever it takes for your life to be transformed. So every Sunday, 3 p.m., in all the help center here in Australia, in Queensland, in New South Wales, in Sydney, and in Melbourne, but also you can find a help center in all the countries here in Oceania and many of the countries in Asia. You can inbox us your location and I will direct you to a specialist that is closer to you. And you will find the way out. There is only one thing that you can't do. Well, I want you to think. If you want to see this addiction finishing with your family or your life, don't come. But if you want to change your family, here is the open door. I would say the only door that you have available for you right now, because all the other doors you knocked and nobody could do anything for you. We can, and we give our word, we can. If you have any question about addiction, pornography, you heard all the addictions the specialist overcame. Pornography, which is, by the way, is pretty bad here in Australia and all over the world. Addiction to ice, which is taking over Australia. Antidepressants, sleeping pills. Addiction to heroin. If you are facing these problems, you don't know how to deal, and you have a question, please act on it. Send me the question. You can inbox on the private, or you can send an email, help@uckg.org.au. The specialist has offered to reply, to answer to your questions. Nobody better than someone who was there one day to tell you how to make it now. He was there one day, facing all types of addiction. He can tell you how to get out of that pit, because there is a solution. Specialists, this week they are going to be sending us the question. You are going to be replying to us next week program. We are going to be watching the reply, the answer for the questions that you are sending.
I'm just waiting. I'm so excited to help people out there. You know, they can write you the questions, and I'm more than ready to help them out of this situation.
That's what must happen in your life. So if you want to talk to us now, our prayer lines are open 0296029837. I'm going to show you a short video, and I want you to stay tuned, because we are going to come back for a short prayer. You are going to have a glimpse, a taste of what this treatment is, and you are going to be free. You are going to have strength to come, because I believe some of you who are watching us, for a long time you are planning to come, but it's like there is a strength stopping you. This week there was a woman who came to the treatment. This week, specialist. She was at the door of the church. The church here, the UCKG Help Center, who sponsor us and allow us to use this space every Sunday. That's why it's the church. She was at the door and she left. She arrived 1 hour earlier, stayed at the door, but didn't have strength to come in. She drove back home. When she got back home, she sent a message. I don't know what happened. I've been planning to come and I never can come. But today I went there. I was at the door, but something was telling me, don't go in. I didn't have the strength to leave the car and 1 meter enter the help center. And now that I got home, I am replying because I need help. You see, when this spiritual force is at work, it will try everything to stop you. That's why it's time for you to shut your ears to the feelings and circumstances and just to focus on the word. It is possible to defeat this addiction. You are going to do your part and God will do his. Let's watch this video.
Addictions. Drugs, sex, pornography, gambling, alcohol. Each one is a ravenous beast to the person that gives in to its impulses and urges. Almost always, an addict wants to stop. He hates himself for doing what he does, for hurting his family and failing at his job. But every attempt to stop is met with the stiffest opposition. Negative spiritual forces drag him back to the addiction over and over again. because it is the key to their continued work in their lives. Clearly, addictions are a sign of the presence of controlling and obsessive spirits.
When the spirit of addiction is removed from your life will be transformed. So you have been tired because you are fighting a spiritual battle physically. But we are specialists in removing these evil spirits, this spirit of addiction. So you don't need to worry anymore. You found the place where your life will be transformed. We are going to have a special prayer, powerful moment to give you strength. The specialist who fought and overcame addiction will give you the strength you need for you to overcome yours.
In life at times, people and situations disappoint us. Have you ever given God a chance to help you out of your sufferings? Give God the opportunity to show you that He is capable and willing to help you. Close your eyes and open your heart, because now is the moment of prayer.
Those of you watching this program right now, stretch out your hands here to my hands. Because they have not ever got any hands to help them out of this spirit that have been controlling their lives. I pray now that your hands, oh God, will reach out to their hands and will lift them up, will take them out of this mud, will take them out of the dominion of the spirit of addiction. All those of you praying with us, we lift you up. We take you out of this situation. We give an order to the spirit of addiction to live your life right now. There where you are, be free. Be free. Take a deep breath, because you've been set free from the dominion of the spirit of addiction. And those of you praying with me who are thinking of giving up on your beloved ones, we take you by your hands, because together we are going to bless you. Together we are going to restore your family. We are going to restore your life. Be blessed by the power of the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Be free, be blessed. Amen.
Amen. You are blessed. Now what you need to do, use this strength you have just received to fight back. Don't forget, problems don't get better with time. Problems get worse with time. Don't wait time to solve the problem of addiction, because with time, addiction gets worse. It's a spirit, and the spirit will continue destroying. But when you decide to stand up and fight, you will overcome. And the moment is now. From the moment you put your foot in this place, your problem is our problem. And you are going to see the same thing that we saw in our lives. Stand up, put your head up, and let's fight against the real problem. The spirit of addiction will leave your life. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your participation once again, specialist.
Pastor Miguel, it's always a pleasure, and I believe those who have watched and those who will especially come to the treatment, their lives will never be the same again.
Have a wonderful night. God bless you all.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.